Hi, my name is Tilena Szepesi, and I'm a diamond leader in Venezuela from doTERRA. And I am so happy to be here with you. We're going to talk about a theme that I absolutely adore. These are actual pictures of me when I am grounding. And the one in the middle that you're going to see is when I was a little girl, like 200 years ago. But hey, what can I tell you? Meta Power Advantage, it's doing its thing, right? Yes! And I would like to know my crowd here. So if you could clap once, if you're like one of those people who take 10 to 20 minutes to meditate and ground yourself, and now clap twice if you would love to meditate and ground yourself in any kind of way, but you don't know how to do it. Okay. You know, the interesting thing is that we have an average of 70,000 thoughts a day, and the majority of them being repetitive, and most of them don't even happen. So we're in a constant loop of thoughts that are probably gonna not take us anywhere. Or if they do lead us somewhere, it's to worryland. So believe me, finding that sense of calm in ourselves, it's finding our true personal hidden gem. And as Krishnamurti said, meditation is the action of silence. But let's face it, keeping our brain in complete silence can be quite difficult. And since keeping this one quiet, it's not an easy task for me, I like to do activities that relax my mind. But first, I want to tell you a story about this mountain. As you saw in the previous pictures, I love nature since I was very young. But when I was 12, I moved to a very hectic city where I didn't have much contact with nature. And years passed by, I was 20 then, and without even knowing how it happened, I was feeling emotionally and physically very, very bad. I was so lost, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. My hair was coming off. I was barely sleeping. I would wake up in the middle of the night, shaking with my heart beating so fast for no apparent reasons. I was not healthy at all. And at that point, my mom was so worried about me that she asked me to come back to Venezuela, where I'm from. And back in Venezuela, I woke up one day and I just went directly to El Ávila, which is this beautiful hiking mountain you see here, that it's in my hometown, Caracas. And I remember that day, I walked for about 2 hours. And when I came down that mountain, I was feeling completely different. And the thing is that my reality had not changed. My problems were still there. They were still there, but my thoughts of them were completely different. And from that day on, I started to go to that mountain every 3 days because I noticed that every time I would go, the rest of the day would turn out completely different. So everything in my life started to change. And it started to change by doing one single act, being one with nature and letting myself just be free with it. Now, years later, I learned that what I was doing is a well-known grounding practice in Japan called Shirin-yoku, which translates to forest bathing. And now, grounding might seem different to each person, and it can even change depending on the moments of our lives we're in. But science has already proven that having routines to calm down the mind and the body, it's a need we all have, even though sometimes we're not conscious about it. Grounding can have significant positive impacts on your health. It improves energy, uplifts our mood, and it can even help us sleep. The problem is that we're living in such hectic life that some grounding techniques just don't fit in because lack of time or the city environment doesn't allow us to be near nature. And sadly, what happened to me years ago, it's happening today to a lot of teenagers and people around the world. And some of you might even feel a little close to this story. Or you can know someone that's going through something like this. And I have to tell you, yes, my happiest days are when I go to that mountain first thing in the morning. I mean, listening to the birds, the views, the aromas, they take you somewhere. But to be honest, in my everyday life, I don't have time to go to the mountain every single morning. So I have included habits that they don't have to be so strict for when I cannot go to the mountain. But what if we could take the mountain home for those of you who cannot go to it, right? And what if I could tell you we could incorporate it with some grounding techniques that are not going to even take you more than 1 minute? What? So please say yes if you want grounding techniques that are fast and that are easy. Yes, right? Yes! Okay, great. Let's do a quick exercise then. Put your hand up in front of you and start noticing your hand. And try to find 3 different things that you had not noticed from your hand before. Maybe you have freckles or long nails. And now close your eyes. Close your eyes and touch your face and feel the different textures from your cheeks to your eyebrows and the bumps that the ears have. And now quickly, recognize 3 sounds. And you can keep your eyes closed if you want, but it's 3 sounds. It can be my voice or the air conditioner, any sound. And if you're watching it on streaming, it can be the sound of your kids or even the traffic sounds. And finally, 1 smell. Be aware of what you're smelling. Pay attention to that unique smell. Do you recognize it? Does it bring any memories to you? And you can now open your eyes and applaud to yourself because what you just did, my friends, in less than 1 minute, it's being fully present. That's great, you guys, because having no thoughts besides what you were experiencing, it's a great grounding technique right there. And this technique is fast. You can do it anywhere. And if you have your Shirin-yoku oil, you can even smell it from the bottle or put it in your diffuser, and it will make the experience even better. And I want to show you now some of my daily habits that keep me grounded and in peace to start my day. First, I take a cold shower, but you can take it any temperature you like, okay? And I like to put a diffuser with the Shirin-yoku oil in the bathroom, or even spread some drops on the bathtub or in the mat of the bathroom, so you can have a relaxing environment. After that, after I take that bath, I take 1 or 2 drops of the Shirin-yoku oil in the carrier oil, and I put it on my feet, and also as a natural perfume behind my ears and in the back of my neck. And since I really like to put it in the back of my neck, I already have it in my hands, right? So I just take a few minutes to take some deep, conscious breathing with that oil that's on my hand. And I do this to promote feelings of calmness. And I personally like to do it first thing in the morning. So I take a time to recognize myself before I do anything else. Now here you're going to see some other grounding routines, and choose the one you prefer and integrate it with your Shirin-yoku oil, and do it at the best time fits for you, okay? Do it easy. And if you can do at least one of them, exercise. Start with 15 minutes a day. Or if that day you don't have time to do any exercise, set an alarm every 2-3 hours and give it no thought when the alarm comes off. Do a quick stretch. Go, do a quick stretch, smell your oils, and that's it. Go back to whatever you were doing. It can be that easy. It can be that fast. And I really like to set alarms to remind myself when I'm doing a new routine until I get too used to do it, so that way I don't forget about it. Now, journaling. Writing can be such a great technique to let all those thoughts come out. And if you like writing or even coloring, put that Shirin-yoku oil next to the notebook so you can easily integrate it and enhance that practice. You know, I get it. Sometimes we're such in a rush that we don't have time to do that journaling that day either. Well, you can be as easy as closing your eyes and recall an experience of the day before that gave you joy. What about that? Could we do that? Or find a daily chore that gives you peace and put it in your favorite blend of the diffuser while you do it. For instance, there are people who love cleaning their dishes. For others, will be when they do their skincare routine. Group that you love with that oil and make it as your personal ritual of joy. You know, my best will always be nature and outdoors. Now, if you feel a little bit more adventurous, you can do barefoot walk for 20 minutes, and it's incredible, you guys, okay? But what about if we just go home or stay home and put our feet in the grass for 10 minutes? Would that be okay with you? Could you do that? And cold plunge. Cold plunge is also a very popular technique. But let me tell you about one that will clean out even your bad thoughts. So be careful with that one, okay? I really, really hope these routines can help you improve your wellness. And you can do them as everyday practices, or you can do them as coping strategies to center yourself when stressing situations. And as Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in this world. Or as I say, be one with the world. So our wishes of change can happen through a reciprocate exchange of energy and love. Thank you so much.